What is up, everybody? Welcome back. We're going to finish up this submodule with a couple easier final polishes here. I, of course, enjoy the easier videos because my brain has been killing me across the recording of this course. It has been so much longer than I expected. Even after I built the app, I didn't realize how long it was going to take to record because when you're building, you can build things so incredibly fast versus taking the time to explain every single thing that I write in code. Anyway, enough, Nick. We don't want to hear you talking about nonsense. Show us what we need to do. All right, guys, fine. Let's jump into the project navigator. Let's jump into our target. Let's go to our info tab. And then in the info tab, we have URL types. These are going to be URLs that your app recognizes as your app. So you can think about if the user has a bunch of apps on their phone and they click a URL, the system needs to know which app that deep link is associated with. So in here, we can tell the operating system that any link that starts with X is going to be a link that should open our app. So in here, let's create a new identifier. I'll just call this basic underscore deep link. What we name it does not really matter as long as it's unique. And then the URL scheme here will just be AI chat. So any deep link that starts with AI chat should then open our app. We should note that I believe these URL schemes need to be unique across all of the apps on a user's device. So you can imagine if a user has a bunch of AI chat apps. If everybody puts the same URL, the system will get confused. So this should generally be unique to your app, some sort of unique indicator. This also might change if you're using like a deep link service. You can add in a bunch of URL types here. But we're just going to do the basic deep links for now and get it working. I think the core part here is the opening of the deep links and writing that logic. So with just that, we should now be able to actually open up a deep link into our app. So I'm going to open up the calendar here and let's just create, in the calendar, let's create some event and some event. And I'm going to add at the bottom in the URL section here, I will add any link that prefixes with AI chat. Let's do a colon and maybe 2 forward slashes. Let's call this just generically open for now. So now if I click on this, it should open up my app. So let's go ahead and build and run our app to the simulator. So anything with AI chat colon / no matter what the text is after that, that should be registered as a deep link for the AI chat application. Let's go ahead and close. Let's go ahead and close the app. Let's jump into the calendar. And if I click it, it'll open up my app automatically. So cool. Once we open up the app, we might want to do something like routing into a different screen or something, or maybe even just trigger an analytic. So let's jump into our Explore view. And there's a SwiftUI modifier called onOpenURL. We can perform an action. This will be the URL. So this will literally be the URL that we just clicked on. And now we can perform code handle deep link. And we'll pass in the URL of type URL, open the brackets. Let's call it from up here, handle deep link, pass in the URL. Let's write a little bit of code in here to actually get the URL. So we're going to say guard let components equals the URL components. And you can ask ChatGPT to do this for you if you want, but let's do it quick. We'll get the components from the URL and resolving against base URL will be false. And we'll say let query items equals components dot query items. We'll say else, and here we'll have no query items. So we'll go ahead and return. So inside the URL, we can get additional information. So for example, if this had information on maybe an avatar ID or a avatar category, we could then get all of the data from the URL and then do something with it. So down here, let's go ahead and say for query item and query items. For right now, let's just print query item.name. Up here, we'll print no query items. And let's build and run this to a simulator. Let's open up our calendar. Let's click open the deep link. And now we got no query items here. So we don't have any query items yet, but now let's go ahead and try to customize this a little bit. So now let's pretend like maybe we want to do a deep link for maybe the categories. The user will click and open up a deep link for aliens. So in our link, we can do another one here. So I will just I'll move this down here and we'll change this. After open, we'll add in here a category and we'll set it equal to alien. We don't need the word open here. We could just delete it, but it looks more like a URL with the word open. So if I click this, now it says category as the name. So now we can get the word category. We know that it is a category, and now we can get the value for alien. So in here, in our print items, we'll say if query item dot name is equal to category, let value, if the value is equal to the query item dot value. Now this means that the deep link was for category, and we have the category string. Let's try to figure out what category the user is clicking on. We'll say let category equals a character option from the raw value. So the value should be the raw value. So if we get all of this, then we should be able to call, where's our action here? Where's our action at the bottom here? On category pressed. So let's go on category pressed. We need a category and an image name. We'll say let image name. We'll set it equal to the popular avatars dot, let's just go dot first, where the character option is equal to the category that we clicked on. And we'll do dot image name, profile image name. Otherwise, I don't want this to fail if the popular avatars are not set up yet. So we'll just do a constants.random image for now. Can always fix that in a v2. We can pass in the image name and we can pass in the category. If I go and I look at it, it's really not on category pressed. I don't want to convolute the analytics for this. So let's actually just take this path and we'll say here, path.append. Cool. So if we do go to this path, let's return out of the entire function so that we don't keep going to like another piece of data from the deep link. Let's tag this up with some analytics real quick. So we have deep link start. We have deep link no query items, deep link category. And then down here, if we don't have the category, it'll be a deep link unknown. So let's go down to our events here. We'll say case deep link start. We'll go deep link no query items, case deep link category. We'll pass in the category of type category character option. And we'll say case deep link unknown for our edge case. So if unknown happens a lot, we know we need something is going wrong in our app. Let's copy these 4 and paste them down here. Add in our periods. Let's copy this, paste it, paste it, paste it, paste it. And let's line these up as well. Explore view deep link start. Paste, paste, paste. Deep link, we'll say no items. Deep link category. And deep link unknown. So unknown might not be a failure. Maybe we just didn't add the correct parameters or something like that. But let's come down here. So for the category, we should have a dot case category. We can actually do it for the same thing as category press. We'll do dot deep link category, let category. And then for the unknown, just because we don't really know what it is, let's get it to the Crashlytics. So we'll do unknown here as severe. Let's tag up our code real quick. So we have a log manager dot track event dot deep link start, deep link no query items. Our success case is deep link for the category. And down here, if we get down here, it would be a deep link unknown. Let's build and run it to a simulator and see if we can get this to work. All right, let's build and run it to a simulator real quick. Hopefully this works. And the simulator opens. Let's go ahead and force close our app. Let's jump into our calendar, click on our link, and it opens our app and pushes us right into the alien screen, which is exactly what we wanted. We clicked the deep link that had aliens in it. You'll notice that the constants.random image is up here right now. It's not an alien picture. So if this was our actual app, we might want an actual fallback image for the aliens or for all of the different categories. But if our app is already open and I go and I click on the deep link, then it should actually have an image, which is way better. But just like that, we added deep links to our app and it was pretty simple. This is where we're going to stop for deep links, but this should be pretty easy for you to now go and customize. If your deep links, instead of had a category, if you had avatar ID or a chat ID, now you could very easily start pushing into all those different screens. Or if you had like more complex deep links, you could have just different URLs and then manage those differently. But it's the same overall process. You click a link, you add the URL type like we did at the beginning of the video, you handle the deep link, you pull out the data from the deep link, and then you do whatever you need to do. We added a couple analytics so that we can now track this as well from our code. That's all for this video. Let's Option Command to C. We'll call this a feature and we'll say add deep links. Stage it, commit it, push it up to GitHub, and I'll see y'all in the next video.